Welcome to the Longevity Man podcast, where we delve into the minds of extraordinary men who have embraced self-care and longevity. My name is David Ito, a holistic life and wellness coach. We discuss all things longevity specifically for men, from healthy lifestyle choices to expert advice and inspiring real-life stories that will help you take action towards a healthier and longer life. Guys, welcome to another episode of the Longevity Man podcast. Today, we have George Diaz. He is an amazing guy. We're going to hear about his story. Without further ado, hi, George. How are you doing? And please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Glad to be here and share some things with you guys. I am Dominican. I was born in Miami, Florida, raised in the art for my first part of my childhood for the first 10 years, came back to the States, back to Miami, Florida, which I was there, living with my parents and family and the Latin culture in Miami. Integrated myself to my passion, which is dancing. At the age of 17, joined the studio, which I travel to many places all the world and the States, competing and showing my passion of dance. When I moved from there, I met my partner through dance. Como dice la canción, todo comenzó bailando. As I met her, we met at the middle of 2019. In the beginning of 2020, we decided to do a gig together. We stayed in contact and moved to Raleigh, North Carolina, which became my new home here for the past 4 years. And now this is where we're staying. And we're in the pursuit of our passion. We left our corporate jobs about 6 months ago. And all we're doing right now is dancing and yoga and providing this to our community around here in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Wow, what a life story. I'm particularly interested in what you talked about combining yoga and your dance. Can you tell us about how that came together? I know that you guys are doing something very novel, very special. Please tell us about your combination of yoga and Latin dance.
How that came along is me and my wife, she's also been an instructor for the past 30 years. I've been an instructor for the past almost 20 years. And we love movement, and in being a dancer and traveling and taking that much hard work to your body, you want to always execute the best of your movement and also how to recover faster from training for performing and just dancing. I started lifting weights and I liked it, but it wasn't kind of like my purpose. And also when I do weightlifting, my body will get very stiff. So we'll shorten my movement. And it wasn't until my wife, kept going, oh, you should try yoga. And we're in the middle of a pandemic and I didn't know what to do. And that was the only thing that was open. So I'm like, sure, let me go ahead and try. I can't wait to the gym to open up again. So let's go to yoga. Funny enough, I have a tattoo in the back, on my back, of the Hansa hand. And as soon as I walk to the studio, on the floor, they have the same Hansa hand that I have on my back. So I guess it was a name, it was a calling to this is where you're supposed to be. And since I stepped in there, September 2020, I fell in love and I just kept my training going for it. And I felt the difference that I was able to work out, have mental strength and peace as I worked out, and also work on my body physiques at the same time, which helped my core, my balance, and everything, and it improved my dancing through yoga. 4 years passed, and me and my wife were like, okay, what are we going to do for you? What are your life goals? So I decided back in 2023, okay, I was between massage therapy and yoga, and I was like, let me go to yoga, which I like. And then that's when we came up like, oh, what about an idea if you become a yoga instructor and we do a class specifically for dancers or non-dancers that want to come and join to enhance and improve their movement and still be strong, because yoga is an exercise you could do all year long. It doesn't matter the age or who you are, you can always go at your own pace because this is within you. You don't have to look at somebody on the side. This is your own speed and your own training. And we created it and it's been a little baby and it has been growing. That's when ZEN Monkey was grown, and it's amazing. Now it's taken off and people are really enjoying it and seeing the benefits of being yoga. And also me being a DJ, I included the music part of it because, music movement, training all go together. So it's kind of like, una tremenda salsa se puso junto ahí.
Love it. So novel, and I think it's so complimentary. Me being, in the yogic path, and I also actually do some dancing myself. I think that they're so compatible because yoga, even if it's practiced in a group setting, it's often a very solo practice. You on your yoga mat, going inwards, having your yoga experience. And then the dance, especially partner dance, the Latin dance, it's all about coordination, reading the other person, flowing with the other person, which you don't really get it on the mat when you're practicing yoga. So you combining both of them, I think, is amazing. And you also get the social part, connecting to another human being, working in a, kind of in a social environment, having different people to dance with, to partner up with. I think that really complements the yogic experience. Now, my question, and I'm very curious about this, is how does a yoga practitioner adapt to partner dancing? And what are the challenges for yogis or those people who've been practicing yoga for a while to get into a partner dance? What are the challenges there? And on the other side, what are the challenges for social dancers, Latin dancers, and getting into a yogic practice?
Very nice. We get that a lot from our students that, they hear yoga for dancers, because we do a class. One is we start with the yoga training, which is, we do some meditation, we do the class, you go through your poses. One of the things I specialize, especially in a class, I go around and do adjustments, which I love doing, and help the students go to the potential of their pose and make sure that they're doing it right, but they don't hurt themselves. Um, Going around, once we do that, then we go to the salsa part. And this is the part, like you said, yoga is an individual practice. So that's, you get to work on your own. Okay, what works for me? What is my own self practice? Now, when we go to the salsa part, this is when we come to the connection. And this is when we come to explain to our students the most important part when dancing is connection. That's the main thing. It doesn't matter if you know all the moves in the world. Now you're involving somebody else, and the main thing you have to do is connect. And in this world, you have to connect with many different people. This means you're going to get along with everybody, but you have to learn how to connect with each person. We tell your students, we make them rotate with different dance partners to get adjusted for things connection, and getting them to step out of the comfort zone. That's one of the main things, as connection. Then after connection, we move on to technique. That's the second part of teaching the salsa. The way the yoga students that never taken salsa, they're able to understand what are the principles, what are the main things you need to be focusing on. So there's different levels. First, connection. Second is technique. And then lastly, once you've done those two, it is musicality, which you will come and adapt to hear the music. If you grow up with the culture now, it's like, okay, you got the connection part, you get to look at somebody's in the eyes, you get to see their movement, go along with them. Then you got the technique part. Okay, I'm taking some classes now. I know where to do a right turn, left turn, how to guide that person without getting them hurt. And then you go to the musicality part, which is you learn the music, you learn where the salsa came from, where there's different ways to dance salsa. You have Puerto Rican salsa, you have Cuban salsa, you have Colombian salsa. It's a whole different world. That's why they make it. It's not just one este son, es una salsa, because it's just different genres or different cultures put together. Se creó la salsa. So first thing is always educating our students why both are combined and how you're able to progress to understanding doing both classes together.
I know that you have a lot of tools in your toolbox, George. You're like an amazing guy, and you're not only a DJ, you're also a Latin dance teacher. You're also a massage therapist, yoga, and I believe you're also very much into wellness, self-care. Can you tell us like how you brought together all these tools in your toolboxes? That's part A of the question. And part B is like, for all the guys watching this podcast here, what recommendations do you have? Guys who are maybe not so advanced in their self-care journey as you, how can they start bringing more wellness, more mindfulness, more health into their lives?
Everybody makes changes and everything starts with making a decision. That's the main priority. Make yourself a decision, evaluate yourself. What is it that you want to do? I was a point in my life that yoga was not part of it, dancing was in it. And I got to a point, I was having some little health issue, getting a little bit of some weight. And I looked at my closet and I looked at myself in the mirror. I said, okay, I have two options. Do either increase on size or do I take the decision to start taking care of my health and, not buy more clothes, just wear what I have and keep going. So I made the decision, I'm going to start eating healthier because everything starts within. And that's the part that the yoga comes in because the straining comes from within and making that decision. Started eating healthy, being with people that have the goals where I want to be because they're able to guide me and lead me the way, and being disciplined. That's one of the main things so you have those three things, make the decision, evaluate yourself, your surrounding, and be disciplined. And that's the part that yoga, for me, showed me. Be disciplined. It doesn't matter how you're feeling, how you are, what it is, what's going on. If you made the decision that you want to lose 10 pounds and you want to look great, you got to go with it no matter what's going on the day. That's your decision. It's your goal and go for it. That was for me. And then as a man, we don't have that awareness of taking care of ourselves. Us men, we're like, oh no, we just go with it. We just take a shower and go, it goes along. That's the part that women's, they have the self-care of, okay, let me put up a lotion. Let me eat more healthier. Let me drink more water. A lot of people don't hydrate, this way. And those things, that's when my partner came in and she was like, okay, she also helps me out being in top of those things to eat healthier. And then you see your life changing rapidly. Like it's like magic. You feel good, you look good, and you have the mobility with doing it with yoga and with everything that's around you because you're aligned with where you want to go.
There's something that you said about determination and how yoga helps with determination. Can you go a little bit deeper into that and help guys watching this podcast understand how yoga is not just a physical practice, it's a mindset, it's a philosophy, and it actually strengthens us from inside out? Can you talk a little bit more about that, please?
First, I had this taboo that yoga was just, let me just sit down and close my eyes and meditate, which it is, just different yoga practices. But when I went to your class and I see that you hold these poses and I see people of ages that are a little bit older than me and they're holding these poses and they're strong and they're full of life. I'm like, how is it that I'm this young and I'm struggling doing these poses? What is going on? And I went and approached somebody and said, it's a mindset, today you might be stronger, tomorrow you may be weaker, but it's all how you feel within. And it's that discipline, that it doesn't matter, but I know I could do this. It's just going to take some time. And you got to be patient and kind to yourself to know that, I just started this journey. Some people kind of start something like, oh, it's not going how I want. It's going to just drop it off. It's just give yourself time. That's why yoga is so important because it's a self-practice. So you have to build that endurance within and be humble with yourself. That's going to take some time. So that is the discipline that it doesn't matter how you're feeling, you still got to push through it. It took a lot within to not be disappointed in myself and just push through it. That's the decision that takes within the yoga to profound and definitely go with the practice. Like, be patient and kindly be kind to yourself. Most people are not kind to themselves. The words that you say are powerful.
Absolutely. I think you just touched on some of the main yogic principles of kindness to oneself, about patience and acceptance. These are all yogic principles that we learn, unfortunately, more when we do yoga teacher training than in most yoga classes. But anyway, this is just planting a seed for those of you watching the podcast. It's like going to teacher training is not just about becoming a teacher. It's about really understanding the depths of the yogic philosophy and lifestyle. And of course, the skills to become a teacher as well, obviously. I would like to ask you about your business, where you and your partner, your wife, teach. What's the frequency? People, just tell us a little bit more for those people who are maybe in your area and they might be able to join you guys.
We do yoga for dancers. So this is our business. This is our life. We teach 2 yoga classes as right now. One is on Sundays at 1 p.m. here in Raleigh, North Carolina, Triangle Dance Studio, followed by a salsa class, which is, yoga for dancers at 2 p.m. So first you will do the exercise, get you nice warmed up, nice and loose. And then we will do the salsa part, teach the fundamentals. So what is salsa? We integrate, to all levels in an open class. So we start very slow, basic steps, and then start gradually moving up to different levels. The way, okay, you do one turn, but how can you advance this turn? So we teach all those principles in a salsa class and teach connectivity, technique, and musicality. That's every single Sunday. On Tuesday, we also teach another yoga class. That is a more flow, stretchy, calm down. Most of the poses are on the floor. Wednesday, we teach a salsa class for beginners, no partner needed. That's also just an introduction, whoever's interested to learning salsa. And then every single Wednesday, we host a social dance event, Kuya here at Raleigh. And we also teach a small salsa class before the event starts, break the ice, people just have a little drink, get the ambiance going. And then I DJ, my wife does the class, I play the music, and people just know that every single Wednesday we're there from 8:30 to midnight, providing an ambiance for the community.
How can guys start taking better care of themselves starting today?
One thing that pops up to my mind right away is self-awareness. How do you want to take care of yourself? How do you want to look like in 10 years, 5 years, 30 years? How long do you want to live, right now, maybe at this point you look healthy with your current lifestyle, but what about what you're doing now? Is that going to take you to be at the same health level in 20, 30 years in your life? So self-awareness of your surroundings, what you eat, getting enough sleep. Us as men, we have the all that weight of not sleeping and always going. So that's self-awareness and taking care of yourself. That's the main thing that I can say as an advice for all men for living healthier life and being happy.
Love it. And self-awareness is one of the yogic principles, svadhyaya, self-study. So thank you for bringing up one of the main yogic principles as a main recommendation for the guys. Absolutely. Just to finish off, just to comment that, the more time we spend on our screens, on our computers, on our smartphones, we are desensitizing ourselves. We are always focusing externally and not internally. So then the mindfulness, the self-awareness becomes even harder because our brain is just used to always being outside, focusing outside and not inside. So thank you again for bringing that one up. All right, George. Well, thank you for your time today. Thank you for your energy, for all the good work that you're doing for our community. Thanks again. Hope to see you on the podcast soon again.
Absolutely. Thank you, David, for having me in your podcast. I would love to be back and hope you have a great day and happy holidays. And everybody that's watching this, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Thank you, George. Thank you so much. Take care.
Namaste.
Namaste.